What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Game James. That's right, James Canada, former defensive tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and this is Game's Pewter Perspective. Hey, before we get started, please make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that bell so you know every time that Big Game Entertainment is dropping brand new content. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are coming off of much needed rest. They had a bye this past week, and coming into week 12, they are getting ready to take on the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Buccaneers are 5-5. The Browns are 3-7. But let's say this right now. Don't be fooled by that Browns record. Let's remember what happened when we went into Pittsburgh, right? Anyway, our last win before the bye, 21-16 versus the Seattle Seahawks over in Germany. And it wasn't the prettiest game, but it was a game that we built on to get momentum going into this bye week. I believe Tom Brady getting rest going into the bye week is going to make us a little bit better when we come back ready to play this week. Now, we are on the road. Cleveland is not an easy place to play, guys. I played there. Cold, could be nasty, but very winnable game for us. Tom Brady this year, it's been a lot of talk about Tom and what he does, but let's just look at it by the numbers. On the season, 12 touchdowns, only thrown two interceptions. He's only been sacked, I think, almost, 18 times. He gets the ball out of his hands fast. And it's okay to throw the ball like we do, but I believe Rachaad White having a game that he did in Germany against the Seahawks gives us a little bit of hope to where we need to mix him in and Leonard Fournette in to not have to throw the ball as much as we end up throwing it every game. Against Seattle, Rachaad White had 105 yards. He had the play that was all over the internet and ESPN with the stiff arm where he pushed the guy off of him. And it was just beyond amazing. I'm sorry, I'm looking all over the place here. But Rachaad White showed that glimpse of what we wanted to see when we drafted him out of Arizona State. 22 carries, like I said, 105 yards. He averaged 4.8 a carry. And it's got to kind of give you hope that a running game can be established because it's something that the Cleveland defense hasn't been very good at. Last week against Buffalo, they gave up 4.8 yards a carry to Devin Singletary, and they gave up 5.2 yards a rush overall in that game on defense. So that's something that we're going to have to do. Use Rachaad White, use Leonard Fournette to get some yards on the ground and let Tom Brady get established and set up with some play action passes to get to Mike Evans and Godwin and those guys. But right now, the biggest concern for me still is our offense lacking productivity when it comes to points. We're only averaging 18.3 points per game. That's 27th in the NFL. So we got to find a way to get on the board to take advantage of this 3-7 Browns team. Browns on offense, we all know about their run game. But at quarterback, they have Jacoby Brissett, who's playing his last game before Deshaun Watson comes back and takes over as the starting quarterback in Cleveland. To me, when I look at that, is Jacoby Brissett has nothing to lose at all. This for him may be an audition tape to why he should be a starter in the NFL for another team. So I believe Jacoby Brissett is going to go out and give it his best and do what he can to secure a job somewhere else next season. Because we all know Deshaun Watson is getting paid too much money to just come in and sit on the bench. But Jacoby Brissett's last game against Buffalo, 324 yards, 3 touchdowns, 116 QBR rating, even though they lost. But he came out and had big numbers. Now, our secondary is recovered and not as banged up as they were early in the year. So I like our chances there. And we're going to have to get some pressure. Now, the only thing I don't like about our defense sometimes is our pressure is we rely on the blitz. Our defense has 32 sacks on the season, but like more than 18 of those sacks have come on blitzes. Devin White is our best, our highest sack guy, and he's a linebacker, right? So we got to find a way to get pressure. Hopefully, Hakeem Nicks being back, along with Vita Vea and Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, can apply a little bit of pressure to Jacoby Brissett because Jacoby Brissett is pretty good against the blitz. Against the blitz this year, he's had 8 touchdowns, He's only been sacked like 10% of the time that blitz comes. He's able to see the ball, get it out quick, and pick up that coverage or to make that read that he needs to make. So we're going to have to get more pressure other than just utilizing our blitz. When it comes to our defense, like I said, our secondary is healthy. He's been throwing the ball, and he loves going to Amari Cooper. Cooper on the season, 50 receptions, 698 yards, and 7 touchdowns. He had 2 touchdowns in the game against Buffalo, and he's their best playmaker at the wide receiver spot. We know that. And then when it comes to them pounding the ball, Nick Chubb is a monster. Now, against Buffalo, his numbers weren't great. But on the season, when you look at it, Nick Chubb has 923 yards, 11 touchdowns, and he averages 5.3 yards per carry. And we all know that the run defense has not been our strong suit later in the year so far this year. So we've got to find a way to make sure that we stop Nick Chubb. And I believe Devin White being back to himself. And I say that to where he played with a heavy heart in Germany. He may have had some other things going on prior to that, but we know he had a stretch of games that weren't great. He finished off as NFC Defensive Player of the week they got the win against Seattle. And I believe that he's about to transform and be the all-pro and captain of this team that he has been for so long. So I believe Devin White will get us back playing the way that we need to play. And then for our offensive line, Gadecki's out this week, but their interior defensive line is okay. The guy that wreaks a lot of havoc is Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is a specimen. A lot of people still say that the Cleveland Browns don't use him right, but 27 tackles on the season, 18 of those solo, 8.5 sacks. Now, he didn't have major numbers against the Bills in their last game, but we all know what it's like when it's time to turn it on. He'll be at home. He'll be playing the way that he needs to play, and we're going to have to make sure we protect Tom Brady in that backside with Myles Garrett coming off the edge. At the end of the day, there's a lot of different variables and factors that go into this game. Like I said, I believe our quarterback going through what he was going through, it's over now. He had a week to kind of revamp things, rework things, and come out and be ready to play. And it's going to be a big game. I believe Tom, a lot of it's going to be talked about what Tom Brady's going to do. Brady's going to be Brady. Like I said, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's averaging 280 yards per game passing with a 91.9 QBR. I don't think Brady's the problem if we can get the run game to go along with it. And if our defense can stop the run and attack of Nick Chubb and put a little bit of pressure on Jacoby Brissett. At the end of the day, I believe the Buccaneers go into Cleveland and they win this game. And I'm going to say, let's go 24-10. 24-10 is what I believe this game is going to be. It might not be wrong. It doesn't matter. I'm Big Game James, and this is my Peter perspective. Anyway, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. At the end of the day, fire the cannons. LFG, let's get this done. Peace.